I guess just the last piece of that with your parents, right? Like they had some friction.
Yeah.
Clearly they weren't happy. I mean, obviously, you can't blame them, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're not like, I told you guys. Like,
No,
of course you're not like that.
I understand their POV.
I know there's no way you would be like that, right? But like, how do they feel about it today? Of course they're proud, but I can't even imagine.
Yeah, no, my dad, my mom, they're telling everybody about me. They're very proud of me and what I've done. They're trying to get my brothers are not content creators. Like they tried content. It just, like I said, it wasn't their passion.
Yeah.
Even
what about Junior PK though?
Junior, like he was making good money as a content creator. He was like 1,000 average viewers, which is fantastic. I was helping him out, but at the end of the day, it just really wasn't his passion. Okay. He wanted to make money and play video games. He didn't want to make content.
Okay.
So, and now all my brothers, they're doing their own thing. Junior, he's into e-commerce. He's selling things. He has businesses. My other two brothers as well. One of them has just a more traditional job. He's a software engineer.
Okay, so none of them work with you on anything.
None of them work with me. They're all doing their own thing. They're all motivated, but they don't want to make content. And that's how it was before the money, and it's still the same after. Like surprisingly, like they didn't just force it. Like they knew they couldn't force it. Even if I'm there, I'm like, I'll feed you the viewers, I'll host you, and
it's very interesting, man. That's really cool. It's a unique story because usually it's probably the opposite, right? Like the brothers are like, host me. They want the help.
Yeah,
and you're just like, I can't force it, but it's literally the opposite. You tried. You dragged them.
I was trying to drag them into
It's just not for everyone.
Yeah.
People might think that's insane and think your brothers are crazy, but dude, I get it as someone who put so much out on the internet. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like the publicity, the attention. Like I like private. I'm a more private person. So, I mean, that's my next question for you, right? This point of the podcast is called Fame and Fortune. We talk about money, but also like, you're very popular. By the way, if you don't mind, I'd love to FaceTime my nephew because he's a massive Fortnite fan. 100%. But like, okay, so you got all the kids like my nephew watching you. I'm sure everywhere you go, you got people stopping you, especially you're tall also. Usually tall people, their eyes, right? Like I lived with, FaZe members, FaZe Banks, Rain, Tommy. They're all like 6'3", 6'4". So it's like, having that paired with being a well-known face, it's like you can't go anywhere. I'm sure that's your experience.
So fortunately, I can go anywhere, but I will be recognized. I don't have like a crazy like rabid fan base. It's at most it's usually a kid getting very excited. And a lot of the times it's just like parents or like a couple who like they have me on while they're playing. Like I'm like their background TV. So I've had very pleasant experiences. I do get recognized just about everywhere I go. The surprising thing for me is that I've been recognized in foreign countries. So I went to Colombia. That's where my wife is from. Got recognized there. People they don't even speak English, and they came up to me and they're like, SypherPK, oh my god,
so cool. And
then I went to Jordan, had a lot of fans there. I did end up like posting that I was there, and there was like 200 or 300 kids that showed up. That's like some outdoor mall to take pictures and stuff. And then I was in Saudi for the Esports World Cup. A ton of fans there. So it was interesting to see like the global impact that Fortnite has had, and because I'm like one of the faces of Fortnite, like as a result, there's people all around the world who know my face and stuff. But I think this is like the perfect level of fame if you're okay with being recognized where you go, because it's not like crazy where people are like, there's paparazzi and people going nuts. It's very pleasant. It's like it keeps me motivated. I get to meet people and they're like, I love your content. It got me through a tough time. Can I take a picture? Like, and that's usually the end of it. So
it's really cool.
I'm okay with that, and I like that.
That's amazing. I mean, thankfully with family, clearly, right? You've spoke about how it hasn't had any negative impact with your brothers, with your parents, right? I mean, the success, right?
Yeah.
Has it been the same with friends? And you talk about you had a very close basketball team.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a big family, extended family with cousins. And did you find any struggles in being famous and having money and having these Forbes articles talk about your money with like?
Yeah, I mean, so close friends, no issues. The only friends that I still keep in touch with from high school are like my basketball teammates. But I also have like a group of friends that I grew up with as a child that to this day we hang out. There's like about 20 of us. I don't hang out as much as I would like to. They're usually hanging out at least once a week. I'm showing up once every couple months. But I still stay in touch. I think it's important to have that support system. But I'm just also busy and stuff.
Yeah.
But they've been very chill. They still treat me the same. I have the weird thing is I have a lot of cousins that they don't even know me as a cousin because they were too young or they weren't even born.
Yeah.
And they are SypherPK fans.
That's crazy.
So
Yeah.
they look at me as SypherPK,
Yeah.
not as Ali.
Yeah.
So that one's a little strange to me because like I'll go, you know, a lot of my cousins live in Jordan. I'll go visit, and they're like looking at me like, oh my God.
You're just
But
like,
then I have my older cousins who grew up with me
Yeah.
or like were literally like changed my diaper.
Yeah.
It's like it's just
They don't care,
You know, yeah,
right?
they don't care. I
Yeah.
mean, they're happy for me, but they
Yeah.
still see me as me. And then my younger cousins are like, oh my God, it's SypherPK.
they're probably talking crap to the little kids.
Yeah,
Like, leave
yeah.
them alone. It's just Adi.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The thing is the fame wasn't the issue. It's like it's money complicates things.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with family. You know, I try to be very generous and help, especially my parents. And I have family. I do have family that need help, and I help them. There's just that balance of like helping people that need help versus people like the last thing you want is someone to become reliant on your revenue
And feel entitled to it, right?
feel entitled
Yeah.
and also like get lazy as a result of it.
Yeah.
So that was a big part. That was a big challenge, and I'm grateful that my dad is like such a leader in his family. Like he is like kind of like the leader of his side of the family, and I trust him to give me the information that I need.
That's awesome.
To help anybody that needs help, because a big motivation for me is also just making sure that everyone I care about and love they're taken care of.
Yeah.
But I can't retire everybody.
Yeah.
I retired my dad, my mom, sure. Like that's
Yeah,
you know I owe it to them, right? Because I'm capable of. It's not even like not everybody can,
Yeah.
but I'm capable of. So I do that for them, but not everybody can just
Can do that. Yeah.
can rely on me and lean on me. I want to be able to provide and support, but there's I'm sure you know how it's like. It's like there's boundaries that have to be set,
100%.
and not everybody really needs your help. Some people do, and you should try to help them, but that's about it.
That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, you know, again, like people for me maybe think I have more money than I do have, family and stuff like that. But I think that's been my kind of measure too. If my dad or mom ever came to me, then like you said, I kind of trust. I don't even have to ask.
Yeah.
It's like this cousin, this whatever from overseas or whatever. It's like your mom and dad especially are looking out for you the most.
Yeah.
And they have the probably same fear as you. So
Yeah, exactly.
It's good to be able to rely on that. And I don't think anyone is surprised that you probably do a lot more than you even want to talk about.
Yeah.
So it's amazing, man.